뉘엿뉘엿 해는 벌써 지고 그림자는 더 길어지고 자전거는 달리고 있어 못다식은 아스팔트 위로 가로등이 하나 둘씩 켜지면 마침내 보이는 내 영혼의 보금자리 So long lovely day farewell 길었던 오늘아 안녕 하늘은 어느새 보랏빛으로 물들어가네 On my way home 고단했던 하루 일은 있고 복잡한 머리는 식히고 내일 일은 내일의 나에게 맡기면 되겐 잘해낼 테니까 모퉁이 자리 한 내 단골 편의점 캔맥주 하나 사고 발걸음 재촉하네 So long lovely day farewell 길었던 오늘아 안녕 하늘은 어느새 보랏빛으로 물들어가네 On my way home
I think I'm just officially homesick. That's my life problem. Like, just everything is bothering me. Things that don't make any sense to bother anyone are bothering me. Like, for example, why are the power plugs different? And why are they so high? Is it like this in all Korean houses or just where I'm staying? It's like the power plug is like halfway up the wall. Well, maybe not halfway. Maybe it's 25%. But still, it's so high that if you don't have a table there, things just like fall. Why is it designed like this? I think my homesickness started when I tried to throw away trash and I learned that I have to separate our trash into like 7 different bins or something. Not only that, but like vinyl? How do you know if something's vinyl? I think I'm super frustrated with myself. I'm currently super frustrated with Korea and the high outlets. I'm having 7 or 5 or however many different bins for your trash, which I'm sure is great for the planet, but I currently feel overwhelmed by. It's the next day. I feel so much better now. I went and I ate Korean barbecue again. I just ate and ate and ate. And it's kind of crazy because like even though I had other food, like I was still really hungry until I ate a bunch of protein. Apparently your body can be hungry for like one thing. Anyway, so I now want to try to go to a grocery store and get some more food so that this doesn't happen again. And I've learned something about South Korea today. So apparently there's a law that supermarkets, like really big stores, have to close twice a month. And they used to only do this like 2 Sundays out of the month, but now they have the option to either do 2 Sundays or 2 like midweek days. And so like I wanted to go to a Lottie Mart that looks like it's a really big supermarket, but it's closed today. Today is one of the 2 Sundays. So I found another Lottie Mart that's like in a different direction that closes on Wednesdays for their mandatory closing. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't just go to the other one. That would have been so sad. I think this is the thing too. Like, I'm loving being here and it's so exciting and so cool, but I feel like I never realized how comfortable home was until I went somewhere that wasn't home, where everything is just a little bit different. That, like, when you're tired or you're hungry or whatever, it can just get like really overwhelming and frustrating. Even something as simple as, I don't know, stores closing on only some Sundays or something. Anyway. But I'm gonna head back out. I'm so glad I'm feeling so much better. And yeah, it's all like overcast today and pretty. I'm sure all of my Korean viewers will know I probably did that wrong, but I tried, guys. I really tried. Having trash PTSD. This is what I would like to know from like my non-American viewers. When you visited America, what is it that America has asked of you that's been like just super, super confusing and frustrating? Like, as someone who's not used to living in America. Other than tipping. I always hear tipping is confusing for people, but I mean, what else is there? I want to know. The trash has been trashed. I need to rest and then go grocery shopping. that store had food I could eat. Admittedly, it required a lot of stairs and a lot of like riding on the subway to get there. But like, guys, I didn't have to be starving this whole time. Hey guys, so I'm feeling a lot better today. And I think it's because I went online and I looked up the stages of culture shock. And it's so crazy to me, like how by the textbook I'm following it, right? Because the first stage is the honeymoon phase where everything's new and exciting. And when I first landed here, it definitely was. Like I literally was like, I'm inside a K-drama, this is so cool. And then like the second stage is where you start getting annoyed by things because it's just like different and frustrating from home. I think that stage for me really kicked off when I gathered up all the trash and I was trying to be helpful to like the cleaning staff at this hotel by like throwing it away myself. But I didn't realize that you have to separate trash in Korea into like 5 different bins that all have like very specific rules. And like upon this quest of me discovering this, like I interacted with like at least 2 Korean ajumas, and they were so nice and friendly and patient, and they didn't even speak English, but they're like trying to explain this concept to me through pointing. But like I felt like so dumb and like I don't even know what. So embarrassed, you know, because like if you're staying at a hotel in America, they don't, you know, have you like out in the back like separating your trash into 5 different bins. So like I didn't even see that coming. I was just like, oh, like now in hindsight it makes sense, but like I just didn't know anyway. Or just how high all the power plugs are. Again, I don't know if this is just my Airbnb where power plugs are just higher per standard building code in Korea, but we have some high power plugs. Why is that frustrating? I don't know, but when you're in the second stage of culture shock, suddenly it becomes very frustrating. Anyway, then the third stage of culture shock is apparently depression and hopelessness. And I definitely think I woke up this morning feeling that, and I went to bed feeling that, and just like very much wanting to be at home and feeling isolated and alone and overwhelmed and frustrated, and everything's dumb, even though everything's dumb, but everything is also not dumb. But at the same time, everything's dumb because you're just not home, you know? And so that's like what I woke up feeling like today. And then I was reading about the stages of culture shock and I was like, oh, I'm just experiencing this. And I'm like, does everyone experience it this rapidly? I've been here a relatively short time. How am I this deep into culture shock? And I feel like if I had only stayed here for 1 week and went home, I would have just been like, everything is great and awesome, because I would have like left when I was still definitely in the honeymoon phase, you know? But alas, here we are in stage 3. Like the stage after stage 3, when you're at the low point, is when you start going back up and you start re-seeing the cool aspects of stuff and, you know, adapting and everything and like re-enjoying it. So that makes me happy to know that like I won't always be kind of sad.
두 눈을 감아 가만히 더 느껴봐 기분 좋은 긴장감 내게 말해줘 tonight 널 알고 싶어 따분할 만큼 이성적이었던 나 무너지고 있잖아 네 앞에 서면 생각도 멈춰 사랑에 빠지는 건 바보 같아 의심해요 즐거움 없는 거잖아 You're all I need
I won K-drama bingo, guys. Okay, this is what I mean by K-drama bingo. You know stuff you see in K-dramas like all the time, like people eating delicious food and like grilling meat, or I don't even know what else. There's just so many things that I'm like, I wonder if I'll actually see this when I go to Korea. Like, is it real or is it just in K-dramas, right? Guys, I saw something that I was genuinely like, that's only in K-dramas. So you know how in K-dramas, sometimes the girl will be like distracted or like mad or whatever, and then she'll like step out into oncoming traffic, and then the guy will have to like arm grab her back onto the sidewalk so she doesn't get hit by a truck. I saw that in real life today. Like, so as I'm at that crosswalk, there's like this guy and this girl, and they're like both Korean, and they're just standing on the sidewalk. But for some reason, the girl's like, I think texting on her phone, and she like gets it in her mind like it's walk time. So she just starts walking out into the crosswalk, literally as this semi truck is coming. And the guy literally like grabbed her arm and pulled her back onto the sidewalk. And the funny part of this is this girl just acted like that was nothing. She just kept texting. It's like, girl, you almost got hit by a semi-truck. So I just feel like I reached some next level K-drama bingo stuff. Because I'm like, they just do that in dramas for the drama. And then I'm like, wait, no, I saw this in real life. I should just tell you guys some of the things that I have found true or not true that I heard about South Korea before coming here. Like, Seoul is like a city of couples, and it'll make you feel really lonely because you only see couples everywhere. And I have to say, I don't know where the creators saying this stuff are from, but again, I'm from Utah, and I feel like there's less couples here in Seoul than in Utah. What I see a lot of on the streets, especially at night, are friend groups. Like, so many friend groups out drinking together and just having a good time. If you guys are like, you have no clue how to put on a compact foundation, you would be correct. Just violent hitting is happening. I have to say, a lot of people are less comfortable in English than I thought they would be, because it's like, you know, the younger generation had to go through what, like 12 plus years of English education in the school system here. But still, like, sometimes I'll go into a store and the cash register will be being worked by like a 20-year-old. So I know that they just went through like 12 years of school of this, but like the look on their face tells me they're terrified of having to talk to me. And I'm just like, I don't like walking around inspiring terror. And I think it's funny because like some of the younger Koreans like have that look of like, oh, my English is not that good. Where like the older Koreans are more like, this girl can't speak Korean. I saw a post recently on Instagram saying that Koreans are like really friendly and helpful. That is true. Like, they are very friendly and helpful. I've met so many incredibly nice Korean ajumas here. They're like so patient with me and just so nice, and they make me feel like not like a burden when I can't even work the self-checkout at all. Or they just like laugh about a lot of stuff, right? Like my sister and I couldn't figure out how to open a door even though there was a big button in Korean that probably said like push here. But she just like walked up and she pushed there and thought it was funny. But, ooh, okay. So actually, I have to say the cutest like Korean ajumma story I have is I saw this cat on the street and I wanted to say hi to it because I'm like missing all my cats back home. And oh, we're going in with the blurring finishing powder. And this Korean ajumma comes over, and if you don't know, that's like a middle-aged, like mom-aged Korean woman. That's like what you call her is an ajumma. At least this is what I've gathered from K-dramas. Anyway, so this like Korean Ajumma who lives in the neighborhood sees me trying to call this cat over, and she literally stops and she tries to call him over in Korean for me. She wants to make my dream of like saying hi to this cat come true. And I thought that was the sweetest thing. But of course this cat, being a cat, was like, I don't care where you're from, I'm not saying hi to you. So, and that's something else I've learned. Cats in Korea are the same as cats everywhere else. Ta-da! So now I need to eat some food and then I can head out shopping. You guys know what I realized last night? There's no way I could possibly eat all this food I bought. You know the old saying that's like, don't go shopping when you're hungry. Don't go shopping when you've been like starving for days. It's a bad time. Well, I mean you should because you need food, but like remind yourself that you're only going to be in this Airbnb for another like day and a half and you don't need to buy all the food in the world that's refrigeratable.
작은 향기까지 다 나를 간지럽히네 모든 신경이 널 향해 있어 사랑에 빠지는 건 바보 같다고 그렇게 난 믿었었는데 유일한 사랑은 너 하나란 걸 나는 확신해 You're all I need 너도 같다면 의심해요
I'm here guys, so I guess this is like right outside Seoul Station. It's so cool. And the sunset is so pretty. Is there a giant bunny behind me? When you turn on selfie mode, you're like, wait a second. So I was able to find the train station we need to go to tomorrow with the train to Busan, and I was able to buy our tickets, so I feel very accomplished. I would show you guys the wall more, but I can't.
이화 사거리 방향 횡단보도의 녹색불이 켜졌습니다.
I'm making terrible life decisions, but you're making them, so that somehow makes it better. Okay guys, this is the current status. I couldn't get off the subway at my stop because it was so packed. It was like rush hour packed, and I was on the opposite side of the door, and I tried to squeeze through, but I don't think I'm like Korean enough to know how to do that appropriately, so I only got halfway to the door by the time it closed. Okay, so I ended up getting off at the stop that has the really cool gate, and it also has Seoul City Wall, which is why I got off, because I was like, well, if I can't get off on my stop, I should just get off on the stop at the cool historic wall. But then I get off my stop, and this is my first time in this giant city encountering a guy who I'm pretty sure is both mentally ill and homeless and like yell singing and is like following me. Like, I don't think he's like targeting me, but I feel like he it's dark and he's walking behind me consistently, right? Which, you know, as a woman at night in the city is nothing you ever want to happen. Long story short, I found like this group of Korean women and then I followed them across the street and now I'm in a coffee shop. However, Seoul City Wall is like all in the dark, it looks like. So this is where my sketchy life decision's coming in. Am I gonna go walk by the wall in the dark? Or am I gonna make my mother proud and not do that? Because my sister's still at the Airbnb sick too, so I'm all alone. What do I do, guys? What do I do? I should make my mom proud. Mom, if you're watching this, it's all your fault. I didn't get a walk at night by the wall. However, I have to say the mask took some of the makeup off my nose and I've like had to do the powder compact a couple of times, but otherwise, the makeup is staying fire.
아침에 눈을 뜨는 게 기대되지가 않아 네가 없는 낯선 세상 길을 잃어버린 채 위태로운 좀 외로운 하루가 지나가 우린 좀 다른 것 같아 차가운 그 마지막 기억의 조각들이 생채기를 내지만 이제는 나도 그래 널 잊고 다른 사랑하기를 Now I'm just waiting for love, waiting for love. 사랑은 사랑으로 잊혀진.
Guys, I feel like I might have finally found a park. Do you know how hard it is to find a park with like toys in Korea? They make that look really easy on K-dramas. It's not. I get to just stumble upon a park that has toys. Could we actually be about to live my K-drama dream?
네가 돌아오길 기다릴 수 없게 이젠 떠나보낼게 가끔 생각이 나겠지 오래된 사진처럼 솔직히 두려운 걸 괜찮아지는 게 무뎌지면 흐려지면 다 잊은 거잖아 그때의 너였고 그때의 나였기에 모든 것을 걸고 함께했던 날들 Now I'm just waiting for love waiting for love 사랑은 사랑으로 잊혀진대 Waiting for love waiting for love 네가 돌아오길 기다릴 수 없게 이젠 떠나보낼게
So I'm not sure why there's a palace, but it's cool. And that's what I like. In Seoul, you just randomly run into a palace and you don't know why it's there, but it's cool. I'm finally back at the Airbnb and I have thoughts. I feel like I'm just observing the culture shock process through me and I have some thoughts on it, guys. Thoughts. I was reading a lot today about how a sense of isolation is one of the key factors in it. And I think that's so true. Plus missing the comforts of home. Some of like the suggestions of like heal culture shock is like dosing yourself with things from back home, mastering things in your new place. So earlier today when I was riding the subway, and I feel like I have a pretty good handle on the Korean subway, apparently not getting off the Korean subway, but like knowing what train to get on, knowing what exit to go off, using like Naver to like map things. Because I felt so competent at that was like really helping me. And then I was like listening to American music in my headphones for like the first time, I think, on the Korean subway, because before I've been like so hyper focused on learning the subway system, I couldn't just be listening to music. I think the combination of having stuff I do at home, like listening to the same music, plus feeling like I was good at something in the new environment, really helped me with how I was feeling. So then I'm having so much trouble and like can't get off at my stop, and so then I get off at the other stop, and you guys saw all of that drama. But then at the last palace I was at right before I came home, there was this group of like Korean teenage girls, and they asked me to take a picture of them in front of the palace, and so then I did. I don't know, I think them being nice to me and me feeling like I could do something useful, even if it was just taking a picture of them in front of the palace, like again helped with my culture shock, because I think it made me feel less isolated and alone, and also it made me feel helpful, even though I know I probably did not take a very great picture comparative to Korean photo standards. But when you don't know the language or the culture or anything, it can be easy to start feeling like you're always a problem, or you're always a burden, or you're always the person making everything difficult for everyone, and you can't be very helpful. So maybe just being able to be helpful for like half a second, and obviously they were like really nice and stuff, so it made me feel less alone. And I feel like that's one of the reasons culture shock feeling is probably like go like this, right? Because you have experiences that like highlight the fact that you're in a different place, and then you have ones that make you feel better about it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in Seoul today. Tomorrow we take the train to Busan. I'm so excited. See you guys tomorrow.